Hey, what is up guys, and welcome to this episode of the Rust programming language series. And in this episode we're going to take a look at challenge number 355 on the Reddit Daily Programmer subreddit. Alright, so this challenge is easy, or it should be easy, and it's about the alphabet cipher. And essentially what you want to do is you want to take this key right here, and then the message to encrypt right here, and then you want to encrypt this with this key in a fashion similar to this. So essentially, if the letter you want to encrypt is T and the key is the first letter of the key is S, then you want to, according to this table, you want to turn the T right here into an L. All right, so let's take a look at how to do that. So open up a new project, and I've named this one challenge 1, and as you can see, challenge is accepted. All right, let's go. So let's start off by writing some tests for this. So we're going to config test and then mod tests, use superstar to grab all of the above functions, then test function, let's call this one internal, or let's say test cipher, that's probably better. Some curly braces, and then we're going to write assert underscore equal to, and then this is a macro, and here you want to put in, let's say, x and y, and the test will fail if x is not equal to y. So I'm going to name my main function in this program cipher, and you can see all of the examples right here, all of the challenge inputs. So I'm just going to put the challenge inputs in here, and then make sure that they correspond with our outputs. So I've already done this, but basically all that I've done is copied these, and then I'm just gonna paste them right here. All right, so that looks good. Now we want to start with our functions. So in the main function, we're going to call a function that we're going to call cipher, and then we are going to have two split parts, because the input should be the key and then the message and a space in between them. So let's for now just say split 0 and split 1. All right, and then we're going to print this eventually. So we're going to print line like so. All right, that looks good. And then we are going to start with our cipher function, and we're going to fix this split later on. So function cipher, and it's going to take two outputs. It's going to take two inputs and give one output. So the input is going to be a key, and that's going to be a string, and then it's also going to be a message, and that's also going to be a string, and it's going to return a string because we want to return the encrypted message. So we're going to start off by declaring the encrypted message. So we're just going to make a new string, and then we are going to loop over each and every character in the message and then we are going to add the key character of that to it. So we're going to use a for loop for that, and we need both the index and the character for the for every character in the message. So for index and character in message, and we want the characters, and then we want to enumerate over them like so. And then we are going to first calculate the increase. So the increase, we are going to declare a new variable called increase. So the increase is going to be the key right here, and we need it to be as a byte, and that's a U8 instead of an actual character, because when we're dealing with math, it makes way more sense to use them as a number instead of a character. So as bytes, and then we want the index to be the index of the message character, and then we want to use the modulo of the key dot length. Now, why is this? Well, because the key, as you can see right here, the key is way shorter often than the actual message that we need to decrypt. So once we reach and you can see an example of that here. So once we reach the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh character, we want to start over. So by using the modulo, this will start over once you reach a character that is that's not included in the original keyword. All right, and then we want to find our new character. So let's mute new char, and the reason why this is mutable is going to make sense to you in just a couple of seconds. So new char is equal to character as a U8 plus the increase. All right, and I'm going to add a comment here to just make sure that you guys don't forget why this is mutable. And essentially this is that if new char is more than C, so essentially if it's after the last character in the alphabet, we need to start over with A. And in code, this would be if new char is more than the byte of said. We are going to do new char is equal to new char is equal to new char minus 26. And what's this magic number 26? Well, 26 is the length of the alphabet. So if we want to, it makes sense here. If you look at the B, then if you look at B, then what said used to be is now A because you flip it. All right. And then the last thing we want to do in this cipher function is encrypted message.push, and we're just going to push the new char as a char, because now we don't want it to be a U8 anymore. We now want it to be an actual character. And then we of course need to return the encrypted message at the end. All right, that looks pretty good. So we can try running our test, and maybe this will fail. Let's see. Yes, cargo test. Yeah, we can just comment this out for now. Try again. And failed. All right. So the reason why this failed is in this let increase. We need to remove the byte version of A because we want the increase is going to be an integer. So we don't want all of the previous characters. I think the character A is something like the 96th letter in the ASCII table. So we want to remove all of the previous ones because we don't really care about them. So if we remove the BA, which is equal to something like 92 or 96, then this should run just fine. Alright, so test run okay. So that means that our cipher function is running fine. And let's see. Function is never used. Well, we're going to make sure it's used. Alright, so in here, I'm going to start off with a message. And that message is going to be, please input your key and message. And then I am going to declare a new variable. Let mute input equals string new. And then we're just going to do the same old standard in dot read line and mutable input and dot expect. There we go. Failed to read line. All right. And then we are going to make another variable, and this one is going to be called split. And the split is going to be a vector of strings, and it's going to be equal to the input, and then we're going to split it on the space character, and then this usually returns a vector of strs, but we want strings, so we're going to map it, and we're going to map just the variable name s, and we're going to return that as a string. Now we also wanted to lower case, and that just makes sure that if you put it in uppercase, it's not going to mess up our code over here. And then the last thing we need to do is that we need to collect these. All right. So this has an error, and the error is that we haven't. We need to write up top that we're going to use the standard IO. There we go. So try to run that now. Please input your key and message. Well, we're going to copy it from over here. So something like that. And this gives us the output that we expect. But there is one more thing I'd like to do, because what if I write something like just snitch here? Well, it's going to panic. So I'd like this to say, to just make sure that we're inputting two separate strings separated by space. So if split.length is equal to 2, we are going to copy this print line, and else we are going to print line input incorrect or formatted incorrectly, and then we're just gonna return. And we should make this look a little bit more pretty, in my opinion. So here is your encrypted message. All right, that looks pretty good. So let's try running the code again, and we need to copy the example from over here. Just gonna copy that and then paste it, and here's our encrypted message, and it's the same. And just make sure we haven't messed anything up. You can run cargo test, and the test result is still okay. All right, so that's it for this video. And if you like these kind of things with the Reddit daily challenges, just comment below and I'll make sure to do more of them. So good luck and happy coding.